everybody, Tracey here from Rejuvenation Rooms. I've got Lisa here with me today, who we are interviewing after her Emerald experience, and we're just really grateful for your willingness to share your story with us and sort of talking about your journey through with us and the experience you've had with Emerald. So just sort of talk to us about what made you sort of seek out the Emerald fat loss sort of experience.
Yeah, no problem. So I've spent a lot of years trying to lose weight. I was diagnosed in my early 20s with polycystic ovarian syndrome, which, as well as all of the added fertility challenges, it does make it very, very hard to lose weight and very, very easy to put weight on.
Yeah.
Combined with that, I'm insulin resistant as well, so I'm not diabetic, but my body doesn't react to insulin, and so it stores all my blood sugar straight away as fat. So as you can imagine, that's an added challenge in ever trying to lose weight. It means you do have to go quite extreme in the number of calories that you consume. You have to do a lot of exercise in order to see any kind of shift on the scale. It all becomes quite self-defeating because you restrict, and then fall off the wagon, inevitably put all the weight back on and more. And so I've probably been in that cycle for about 10 years now, losing some weight, putting it straight back on, losing some, putting it back on. Earlier in the year, I'd been looking into what options I've got in terms of interventions that could work alongside, again, let's give this another go, we're in a fresh new year. I'd looked into gastric band surgery, I'd looked into gastric balloons, I'd looked into Ozempic, the injections, and all of those came with quite serious side effects. Obviously, gastric band surgery and the gastric balloon can have quite negative impacts on your gut health and on your overall health in general. And the Ozempic injections, I was quite worried about those. I've heard that as soon as you stop taking them, your entire relationship with food hasn't been fixed, the way your body functions hasn't been fixed, and you go straight back into eating the way that you were doing before, so almost just compounding what I'd already been challenged with. So I saw Emerald when I came in here for a massage, saw the leaflet and thought, ooh, this actually looks like something that could really help and work alongside what I'm already doing, which at that point I'd been going to the gym, I'd been following a low glycemic index, so low sugar diet, and doing a lot of walking. So I had been slowly losing weight consistently on my own, and what I decided and what I liked about Emerald was that I saw it as a way to really boost what I was doing that complemented everything I was doing on my own.
Yeah, amazing. And so once you started on the Emerald, how long was that before you start to notice any difference? Was it fairly soon? Was it after one session, or was it sort of partway through? When did you start noticing any changes physically and sleep-wise, energy levels, and any changes sort of with weight, inch loss?
So I'd say I probably started noticing about week 5 or week 6. Certainly better sleep. My energy levels were pretty good because I've been eating so well and doing so much exercise. I think all of it just sort of worked together really well. But the impact that I could start to feel in terms of fat loss and inch loss was definitely from about week 5 or 6. And I could really start to feel it right around my waist and see it in my clothes. And then having the scan kind of halfway along, and then towards the end really just sort of confirmed that it wasn't just inches that were going off my waist and my hips where I'd really wanted to target, but it was also coming off my arms, my thighs, everywhere. It was great.
Which sort of confirms, some of the science behind Emerald in that, the fat cells, when the target fat cells, they then communicate to other fat cells, to release their fatty content. So that sort of confirms that when we see this overall change within the body, even though that is not being targeted. So, with regards, was there anything during your treatments that, you faced any challenges, or you found it pretty straightforward? Obviously, the treatment itself is painless, and obviously with the body balancer, that's a really nice element of it. But were there any challenges that you faced, you thought, during that time?
In terms of challenges, probably the biggest one was to cut down alcohol and caffeine.
Okay, yeah.
Not that it was hugely challenging, absolutely. I cut down particularly caffeine, so I was drinking sort of 4 or 5 mugs of coffee a day, so I've switched that to decaf. So that's probably, you can really pinpoint that as a change that I've made through doing Emerald and the food diary for a week, and just getting that advice off your consultants to say, if you want to get the kind of the best results, then cut that down. But I would say part of my whole journey has been to make sure I do things that fill my cup. So I've been out for meals and I've had alcohol with friends or in social situations, but just being mindful that not overeating, not overindulging, and then it's worked out really well with the Emerald treatment alongside that.
Yeah, perfect. Because we don't want people to make drastic changes to their normal daily life. But just from what you're saying with regards to the caffeine, just so that we can tell people, it's all to do with the lymphatic system, and we want the lymphatic system is a really important part of helping eliminate the fat. So we want our lymphatic system to be like a free-flowing river, and things like caffeine intake, alcohol intake can slow that lymphatic system down. So which is why we then sort of ask people just to cut it down a little bit in order to maximise and optimise the whole lymphatic system. So with regards, sort of now having sort of finished your course, what sort of impact has this had on your confidence and your overall well-being? Because this is not just a fat loss machine, it is a well-being device because of all the different changes that it makes and has in the body. But, how's your confidence been after this?
Yeah, sky high, I would say. Yeah, it is a lot about that sort of body confidence, and to just walk around feeling like probably what I thought I looked like in the mirror, but then I didn't look like that in the mirror when I saw photographs, and just being able to put on clothes that previously were too small. I'm sometimes to throw out pairs of jeans and jackets that they were my go-to previously. It's just really boosts my confidence, and then being able to go out and think, I need to go and get some new tops, and I need to go and get a new jacket, and I can buy a size smaller. And with all the years of just relying on dieting alone and nothing else, that was never really sort of an outcome of that yo-yo dieting. Whereas now with the Emerald treatment, I feel like I can just stay, even if I just stay consistently at this now, that's an absolute first in 10 years.
Which is amazing. That must have had a massive impact. And I don't know, when you've gone, when you go shopping, you sort of dread, or you think, you have to make do with what you can have in the shop, whereas when you think, actually, I can go and get that. What an amazing feeling. Fantastic. What advice or encouragement would you give to someone who is maybe considering Emerald? Would it be something that you would recommend and say that go for it, or
Yeah, absolutely. I think I definitely recommend people to book in a consultation and just talk through whether the lifestyle that they have, how they're planning to eat, what they can adapt in terms of doing more exercise. And in terms of exercise, I mean walking, not necessarily going and doing sort of mad CrossFit workouts or anything, actually sort of linked to the lymphatic system. Just walking, straight after a treatment, the morning after a treatment, that was what I found really effective, and sort of got me up and out of bed to go out and have a walk thinking, right, released all this fat into my bloodstream, I need to go and do something.
Yep, absolutely.
That will then use it,
Yeah, so you still go to the gym?
Yeah.
So did you tie in your treatments and then go to them? Obviously you walked, but did you do anything sort of like, so you had your emerald, and then you then went to the gym maybe the next day, or usually the same day?
Yeah, so I have my emerald treatments generally every Thursday afternoon.
Yeah.
For the whole course, and then I'd go to the gym first thing Friday morning and Saturday morning.
Amazing.
So that I think that all just ties in, because I do a lot of weights, so it's just the metabolic sort of weightlifting that really uses a lot of energy, uses a lot of fat burning to lift it, as well as then the walking as well around it.
Yeah, absolutely, because again, that first 72 hours sort of after having an emerald, the fat cell will have released the fatty content, and we want someone to mobilise to shift that fat away from themselves so that it doesn't go back into the cells. So by lymphatic massage, which we put people in the body balancer for, but also that mobilising straight after that and going to the gym will absolutely maximise the results that people experience with emerald. Did you have any support from family, friends whilst you were doing this? Did you not tell anybody you was doing this? It's a very personal thing, Some people don't want to tell anybody that they're having the treatment done. They just come, and some people want to share it with people and, get that extra bit of support,
I told a couple of friends. I didn't sort of shout far and wide, because like you say, it's quite a personal thing that that you're going and having a treatment, because at the time you sort of start off on that journey, you think, I have no idea if this might work or it might not, and it is a bit of a sort of a journey that you're on yourself. But the friends that I told all were really supportive, and just said, you really hope it works, and we're there to come out and walk with you, and we're there to support you on the sort of nutrition side as well, to just continue being around people that are supportive of eating low sugar, because the insulin resistance. I think it's important that you address nutrition, and the consultants here were all really great at sort of looking at food diary and sort of making those suggestions so that you're sort of maximising the potential in your diet to support what the emerald's doing at the same time.
Yeah. And have they noticed any changes to you, like physically, can they see?
Oh yeah, massively.
Brilliant.
Yeah. No, I've definitely changed shape a lot, or particularly around my waist and hips.
Yeah,
it's really useful.
Fantastic.
Well, I dissociate. Pretend it isn't happening whilst I'm stood naked on a rotating platform. But, that's what you want on video. Did you find like the StyleQ helpful? Yes.
Being able to see your body, and also all of the different measurements, and obviously the percentage of fat loss, lean muscle mass changes, and things like that. Did you find it, helpful that you knew you'd got to come and have a scan, and does that help extra focus, or whether it just, you think actually you can see your shape changing, which then give you further motivation? It's great for people to see themselves. Sometimes it's really hard for people to look at themselves like that.
I didn't want to look at the first scan. But I thought I've got to as a data point to just look at it as that's where I'm starting from. I know that I'm coming in to do the emerald treatment because I want to change my body composition. So I just had to look at that first scan result as that is what it is.
That's it, that's your baseline.
And that's my baseline. And it was actually really good to the one particularly at the end of the treatment to be able to look at the outlines in profile and be able to see there was a really big difference over my stomach, sort of in the sort of profile and the outline, and of course then the measurements as well had all come down. I think overall the scans showed that I'd lost 7 pounds of body fat and gained a pound of muscle.
Right, which is fantastic.
In the time. So, that was exactly what I wanted to do. I didn't come to do this to lose weight. I came to address my body fat.
Yeah.
And, some of that was the visceral fat that I was really concerned about around my organs. So, absolutely came off where I wanted it to come
Yeah.
off, and it needed the body scan to be able to tell that I wasn't sort of losing sort of mass, I was losing fat.
Yeah, absolutely. So can you sort of just talk about the process of the Emerald? So you obviously come in, you have your Emerald session. How did that feel for you? Did you feel comfortable with the staff? You know, obviously we like to talk all the time. Sometimes people don't want anyone in there with them, they just want to have that time for themselves. But just to describe to someone really what it feels like to actually have Emerald and also the body balancer, amazing.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, generally I'd just come in wearing sort of whatever I'd been wearing that day. Just tried not to wear baggy trousers for the balancer afterwards, but just came in wearing whatever I was wearing, and then only really needed to expose the skin that was getting the treatment. So I was able to keep my bra on and I could keep my trousers on, so I only really had to pull something down and roll some things up. And then sort of just laying on the bed with the glasses on to protect my eyes from the laser. That was absolutely fine and quite relaxing. Yeah. Generally had a chit chat with
whoever was with you.
Whoever was with me. Generally a different person on each treatment, so it's not necessarily guaranteed you'd have exactly the same person each week. And then sort of after about 15 minutes turn over and then sort of reposition it all on your back and again have a nice chit chat whilst lying on my front, and then hop off the table. You can rearrange your clothing again back then and put the body balancer on the bed. It is a little bit like getting in a spacesuit.
Yes, it is.
So once you've got the technique,
you're
good and you're in. And I think the first time I got in it, I was a little bit worried whether it was going to zip up, because you're sort of lying there thinking, ooh, is it going to? But honestly, by the time I'd done the 10th treatment, just zip straight up. So even then I could tell there was a big difference.
That is when you notice a difference, definitely. And how did you find the body balancer feel? Because I love it, and most clients really love that feeling of being squeezed. How did you find that?
Yeah, it was interesting. I think we start off on not too strong a level on it, and so each time we turned the level up each week was like, okay, this is getting stronger now. By the last one, you really feel the compression, but then you can sort of better understand by the time you've done it a few times what it's actually really doing at sort of its full strength. So you can really feel that rolling compression up your legs and across the sort of hips into the lymph nodes. So
absolutely. Okay. But a pleasant experience. Just something that's, it's not something to be worried about. It's, it's a really comfortable treatment.
Not at all. It was a really comfortable treatment, and generally you'd be left alone in the room then, turn the lights down a little bit dimmer, you've got a radio on in the background. It's really relaxing.
Yeah, absolutely. And sort of, did you look forward to coming to your treatments? And I always look forward to it. Marvellous. Okay. So what about your water intake? How did you find, because obviously drinking, 2 to 3 litres of water a day can be quite a challenge for some people. How did you find that? Was you already a good water?
Yeah, I drank quite a lot of water anyway, but I sort of invested in one of those really big water bottles, so I just carried that everywhere. Didn't matter where I was going, I'd turn up with a water bottle, but the staff here always gave me a bottle of water after a treatment, so I could go straight out and drink, a litre of water just on the walk home. Yeah.
So what happened then? What happened with your sleep? What was your sleep pattern like before you had Emerald compared to during the treatment?
I think deeper, fell asleep a lot deeper. Okay. And sort of a lot of the time before that I'd wake up quite a few times in the night, or I'd shuffle around the bed in my sleep and sort of wake up in the morning and realise I'd sort of been all over the place. Whereas, once I'd started the Emerald treatment, I'd noticed a big difference in sort of waking up almost in the same position I'd fallen asleep in, and just feeling so much more sort of refreshed, like I'd had a proper night's sleep.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people have noticed the difference with their quality of sleep. I normally have about 5 hours sleep a night, but when I'm on Emerald, I'm going between 7 and 9 hours, which at first I thought, is it just a coincidence? But actually, every time I've done it, my sleep has definitely improved on that. So I think it's absolutely again, just to confirm that science behind it. You know, you finished your course, but still noticing changes still happening, and we're now 12 weeks after finishing that first course, and you know, you're still noticing more fat loss and inch loss happening.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm still putting up. So this morning I put on a pair of trousers that just fit at the end of my 10 courses, and now I put them on this morning, and there was room in them, and they were not trousers that had any give in them. So it's absolutely fantastic.
Which is amazing. So you know, satisfied with the whole experience and the results, obviously. Amazing. And you know, would you recommend this to somebody else who is seeking some kind of, you know, fat loss treatment?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd recommend it over going for something that feels really extreme around injecting yourself each day, or potentially putting yourself through surgery or a medical procedure. I absolutely hand on heart would say look at doing the Emerald before doing anything like that, because this is an actual sort of sound science that it will really improve the way that your body handles fat, and none of those other measures would do that. They just stop you eating as much, which doesn't fix anything.
And I remember when we spoke at the gym, you was telling me you absolutely looked into the whole science behind this treatment. So you'd done your research. You know, we say how great it is, but you went and did your own research into it, didn't you? So, you know, and you know, we encourage anybody to do that.
I think just saying it's FDA approved.
It's FDA approved, which means it's been through rigorous, you know, testing, and that the claims that the company make have been verified, and you know that it's, you know, well supported by proper research, double-blind control trials, so that it isn't just, it's not biased or skewed results. And you know, originally they were done on people who were not allowed to make changes to their diet. They were not allowed to make changes to their exercise, so that they could literally see what the machine did, or the laser, and to give a real true picture of, you know, how much potential there was for fat loss. So did you take any supplements or anything whilst you was doing it, you know, that helped? Because I know there's like berberine and magnesium and things like that, which will help, you know, again, potentiate the loss. We're sort of only now looking into this of berberine, but did you take berberine?
I do, yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So I take berberine because it helps with insulin resistance.
Yeah.
So it also helps the way that your body absorbs sugar. And I also take magnesium. I take vitamin B12 because with people with polycystic ovaries quite often become B12 deficient.
Right.
And that of course helps with energy levels and sleeping. I also take a few other supplements to help with polycystic ovaries as well.
Yeah.
So I take spearmint capsules to help with some of the hirsutism. Because sadly I can't have laser treatment because of the hair colour. I still have the same challenge with with hair in places you don't want it, but sadly not able to have laser on it. So there's lots of different supplements that you can take, but certainly I think the ones that really helped boost the effect of the Emerald laser were magnesium, probably zinc as well, by taking a multivitamin, and then the berberine.
Yeah, I'm going to look into berberine because I've seen it banded about a bit, and I remember when you said it.
Well, they've said it's as effective as metformin.
Right. Wow, which is a massive
non-prescription.
thing. Absolutely. And again, that's, you know, has a massive impact on the fat cell. You know, So, because a lot of the time with insulin resistance and polycystic ovaries, the fat cell doesn't want to, it's really difficult, it's enlarged and it doesn't want to release that fatty content. So this just helps, I suppose, that whole process. So, thank you, Lisa, for coming in and sharing your story with us about your Emerald journey.
No problem.
And obviously, if anyone's got any questions that you want to ask Lisa, or if you want to ask us, do drop us a message or give us a ring, at the clinic. We will always be happy to, give you some advice. Okay, thank you.